right, we are now waiting for a live briefing at the Pentagon, which we're going to take you to live, of course, as the United States expands its airstrikes against ISIS, this time going across the border and into Syria overnight last night for the first time. But think about this for a moment. As our technology becomes more advanced, the video images that the world will see of this whole thing become starkly more dramatic. Watch some of this. Wow, that is pretty incredible. Is it not? Stunning images as the U.S. fires Tomahawk missiles into Syria overnight. Major change from the way we all watched the Iraq war. Look at these images from 1991. We remember how grainy they were, how hard to see. And at that point, we thought it was extraordinary that we could watch war playing out live on our cable television screens. Remember that? I am joined now by David Webb, who is the host of the David Webb Radio Show on SiriusXM Patriot and a columnist for The Hill. Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio talk show host, both are Fox News contributors. I was so struck by this morning, and welcome to both of you. Good to have you here with me. Morning. But, you know, it struck me that this is going to be the first war that we will watch really play out on YouTube and play out on, you know, those cameras were positioned all over that ship, as you can see. The angles are cinematic in terms of what we're seeing, and it will have an impact on the way that the world views what's going on here, will it not? David, let me start with you.
Yes, it will, Martha. And, you know, I watched the first Gulf War play out, as you call it, on TV. It's not so much the imagery in HD brings a whole new clarity to it from the visual point of view, but it's also what it can be used for. It can be used to demonstrate both to our enemies and to our allies what we're doing. On the other side, we should be concerned about what ISIS, who are very skilled at social media, very skilled at using their versions of, say, GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto, to push a recruitment effort, what they do. So we need to counter that with images of, frankly, them being destroyed. Look at the might that we demonstrate coming off the Arleigh Burke or the George H.W. Bush or off the USS Philippine Sea. We're showing that literally command position from the bridge, which demonstrates what we're capable of doing. Yeah,
you are so right about that. And Leslie, as David rightly points out, this reaction that we are seeing, it's possible that it might not have happened at this point had it not been for those awful videos that we saw of the beheadings of American and British citizens. I mean, that element of this has been extremely powerful for this enemy as well.
Oh, definitely. David, one cocktail together and now we're in agreement 100%. This is scary.
You've finally come over to the right side.
No. I think this is what we're seeing here this morning is we have a United States of America on this issue, and we have a united world against this enemy. And I think when you have ISIS tweeting with people and 20-somethings worldwide perceiving these murderers as being cool, if you will, it's essential that this imagery is out. Not only showing that the United States does what it says, regardless of who our leader is, quite frankly. Look at the might of our military. Don't mess with us. But this is the bad of ISIS. This is good of the United States and its allies worldwide. We are united in the world, fighting this enemy of ISIS and terrorism. I think that's a good thing. Although there are some bad things. If ISIS does cut and edit, as they've done very well, quite frankly, I think they should be going into that business. The people in some of these countries, we have to be very, very careful that the people of Syria and Iraq do not perceive the war to be on them, their religion, their culture, or even their country, but rather these terrorist activities and groups, Al-Qaeda veterans, the Khorasan group, ISIS, rather than them, the people.
Absolutely. And, you know, the social media is so powerful right now. We saw what it did, you know, in the April spring, sweeping across the Middle East. It's a very, it's almost as if, David, you need to have, you know, an arm of this effort be focused on all of that as well as the military part, as well as the political part, because it is an extremely powerful force in the world now.
Yes, it is, Martha, and there's even a broader context when it comes to fighting a cyber war. We have effectively advanced our cyber capabilities, and we need to combine that with social media. We need to suppress their ability to broadcast, their ability to transmit, lock down as many servers as possible. We need to fight the war in the ones and zeros behind the scenes, and then we need to use the public war to go out and show the decimation of them. This is not a local problem in the Middle East. This is a global problem, whether it's the Al-Qaeda affiliates, whether it's Boko Haram. They're all watching how this plays out. And then look at our allies. Look at what we've heard from Nigel Farage, who may be the next prime minister in England. Or look at what's happened in Australia recently, where dozens of Muslim radicals were rounded up because they were planning public beheadings. So we've got to engage in a multi-front war, not just militarily, but socially, and a clear cyber war to crush them. War is about winning, not about what other people think we're doing.
Leslie, just a quick thought from you before we go about your, reaction to all of this. I know that you have been, against us starting another war in this area, or engaging in one, I should say.
Well, quite frankly, you cannot ignore. I mean, it is the commander-in-chief's job to protect this country and its people here and abroad. I don't think the president had a choice, and not just with the beheadings. ISIS very quickly went from being local, then regional, with global aspirations.
Yes.
Now they're global. And they also went very quickly from, quite frankly, in size they've grown, having international presence. You have to prevent this. You got to cut off the major damages.
Leslie
done.
and David, thank you very much.